What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully you guys are doing excellent and taking care of yourselves. Yes, we have moved into a new facility, aka a new place to live, aka not living in the shed anymore. So, hey, guess what? Got a new bat cave. It's coming along. It's not as fancy as it was, but that's alright, because I have new things to introduce tonight. We have a beautiful alien painting done by my daughter right here. See, beautiful colors, beautiful alien, the stars, and the shimmery sky. Then behind us, we have many of the Marvel superheroes. We've got Superman, Flash, Batman, Batcave, Wonder Woman. We've got Captain America, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, one of my favorites, and then Thor. If you can't see them, I'll give you a little tour over there. And there's the infamous multicolored squid here. So we'll give that a shot. Multicolored squid, and of course we love our turtles. So we've got a turtle in the sea here. Anyway, getting a little off topic. I'll put this one back here. I'll get back there. So we'll be decorating as time goes on. Nonetheless, today we're going to talk about AI and how it's coming for your job, and probably mine as well. So let's get down to it. So we have Elon Musk stating that AI will eventually create a situation where no job is needed. No job will be needed. Here, let's get this alien back up in here. No job will be needed. How is that possible? We won't have to work anymore. We'll just get to just hang out and just let AI serve us hot dogs, and we'll turn into gelatinous blobs of meat? Is that what's going to happen? Maybe. But, how far away is that? Well, let's get into it. This one's on CNBC.com, and Elon was giving a speech and speaking with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Elon Musk, who were having a conversation about AI becoming the most disruptive force in history. You have to admit, we are living in a time where AI is in its infancy and it's going to develop faster and faster. What other technology can we give an analogy to with AI? Well, we can just look no farther than the internet itself. The internet itself, developed in what? 94 was really kind of like when it started really coming out, and people were getting AOL.com, and they were getting, what was the other one? Transamerica or something like that. These different servers that you could log into, and people were like, internet, whatever, da-da-da. Nobody's going to do business on the internet. Yeah, fast forward, 30 years later, and here we are. We have packages getting delivered to our door just by clicking a little button on your phone that didn't even exist 30 years ago. The phone itself didn't even exist 30 years ago. And we're talking about smartphones, right? The ability to just have a one-click, one shop and done, have a package delivered to your door, and it just appears there magically. Well, we know it's a delivery person doing that, and it gets loaded somewhere in some warehouse, but eventually, according to Musk, we're going to have AI tech robots that are going to be able to do this for us. We're not going to have to do it. It's going to be taken care of for us. Okay, so this is all going to be done as we move forward. We're not going to have to really go to work. We're going to have the work done for us. Who's going to be out of a job? Salespeople. AI will sell for you. Cleaners. Garbage people. People who work retail. That's gone. All those stores are gone, right? There's only a few select retail stores, and we're talking about retail products. We're not talking about produce like groceries. But eventually, those will be delivered to your doorstep as well, and they already are. I have different deliveries come to my door all the time. So let's move forward and see what Elon talked about earlier this month, and then we will get into Amazon's new training program called AI Ready, which is looking to train 2 million people by the year 2025. Well, guess what? We're just around the corner from 2024. So this is going to be within a year and a half. Amazon is looking to train at least 2 million people to help them earn up to 47% more in their salaries. This is really interesting because a lot of different groups and article writers, writers in general, are talking about how this AI ready program that Amazon's coming out with is very similar to some of these embedded programs that are in different movies, like Stargate Universe, where the show starts off with them recruiting this kid who cracked a code that was a million-year-old code built into a video game. And he cracked it. And when he cracked it, the game just went back to the beginning. He thought he didn't win anything, but in all reality, the Air Force came and they scooped him up and said, hey, you won something of a prize. And he's like, oh, no, I don't believe you guys. And they wanted him to sign paperwork and they wanted him to come with him. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to look over this paperwork and shut the door in their face. Then he got beamed up right into the freaking starship because they knew he wasn't going to sign anything and they had to show him the proof. I think this is kind of what along the lines of this Amazon AI Ready is going to do, is that they're looking for talent. They're looking for talent that's going to be above and beyond everybody else, that's going to show what people can really do. And they need it now because guess what? What's going to happen? What's going to happen is that all this talent is going to start developing themselves. They're going to start developing their own products, and they're going to develop their own companies. And if Amazon doesn't scoop them up, they're just going to develop their own product and go off on their own. But Amazon is that big behemoth in the industry, and they're going to be selling all the products that we're going to gelatinously order from our phones, and they need these people to develop their systems so that they can stay on top, so they don't lose out, because they know that this is the next frontier in technology. So let's take a look at Amazon's AI initiative now, and we'll go back to Elon's statements about where AI is headed. So the AI Ready program is committed to provide free AI skills and training for 2 million people globally by 2025. To achieve this goal, they're launching new initiatives for adults and young learners. See, they're getting their hands in on the young folks early, because you got to remember that as the generations move on, if they grow up with this stuff, they're going to be able to develop much faster. Some of us older folks, we're not going to be able to keep up with these younger folks that are going to grow up with it and speed on past us, right? We're going to rely on them to start moving this stuff forward as we get up into our older years. So they're scaling their existing free AI programs and removing cost as a barrier to accessing these critical skills. 3 new initiatives are that they're going to have 8 new and free AI and generative AI courses. As you know, ChatGPT also has the ability for you to create your own Chat GPTs. They're small GPTs that perform a function, much like how the Amazon Alexa had small programs that people were creating for the Amazon Alexa device. So Amazon is already ahead of this, not only with Amazon Alexa, but also with their training of AI. The Amazon Web Services, which is what Amazon runs on and what a lot of internet runs on, they actually run on Amazon Web Services. It has a generative AI scholarship providing more than 50,000 high school and university students globally with access to new generative AI courses on Udacity. And they also are going to have a new collaboration with code.org designed to help students learn about generative AI. The need for an AI-savvy workforce has never been greater, and a new study by AWS, Amazon's Web Services, found the following. And now this article that I'm reading from is actually on Amazon's website. So this is all straight from them. This is not like some independent writer talking trash about Amazon. No, this is Amazon's direct company website. So let's take a look. What they found in a new study is that hiring AI-skilled talent is a priority for 73% of employers right now. So it doesn't matter what kind of industry you're in, they want you to be AI ready. They want you to be familiar, at least, with some of the general prompts that go into AI. Well, what does that mean? That means that you have the ability to talk to AI and maybe even put a few programs together. You don't have to have genius level knowledge. These AI programs, especially built by ChatGPT, are allowing you to simply program a brand new little ChatGPT bot or a GPT by simply speaking what you want into existence. All you have to do is tell it what you want it to do, and the more information you give it, the more it can understand its parameters and develop what you need. I mean, it's truly fascinating. And this has been only a year since ChatGPT came out. So, I mean, it's November now. Yeah, November 29th. I mean, it was around November 15th, I think it was last year, where it came out. And people were lining up, just getting on and trying to get early access to it and everything else. It's really fascinating. Employers expect their workers to earn up to 47% more in their salaries if they upskill in AI. Sounds like they need a certificate. AI will become more integral in the way business is done, with 93% of businesses expecting they will be using AI solutions across their organizations in the next 5 years. I can tell you right now, this is happening already. People who are recruiters, people who are salespeople, people who are HR, right? All of these workforce people that manage skills, manage people, it's all going to be done AI. You're not going to need an HR person to go over every single thing. Hell no. You're going to have an AI bot to do that. You're going to have an AI bot to call your prospective prospects and applicants. They already have this already. I watched a video on one HR bot where it called the person and it was talking to them about the job, and it sounded real. Meanwhile, this person knew it was a bot, and he asked the bot to say, hey, can you just say that I'm a human? And this thing couldn't say it because it already had prompts. It would laugh it off and say, oh, of course, what are you talking about? I'm a human, of course I am. But it wouldn't say the exact words he was asking. It was really fascinating. And we already know that there's already these scammers out there that are taking your family's voice and mimicking it, and they're pretending that they're arrested and they need you to bail them out, and they need you to send your Bitcoin to this address right now so that you can get bailed out. And there's a multi-layer to these different scams. I mean, it's truly fascinating. But they can capture your family member's voice and use it in these scams. So these big companies need AI professionals to be able to combat what they call these social engineer scams, where they can social engineer you. They can work with a person versus hacking the system. So they can call Amazon's office and they can social engineer somebody into giving up their, a password or an access domain or, an access username, and that's how a lot of hacking happens, is through social engineering. And they can program a bot to do it, and probably program a bot to do it better than a human. So this is becoming a really weird time to be alive in humanity. So going back to the article, Amazon is launching AI Ready to help those with a desire to learn about AI and benefit from the tremendous opportunity ahead. The following initiatives are designed to open opportunities to those in the workforce today, as well as the future generation. They're going to need people to teach this, but they're also going to have programs in place to teach it. To support professionals in the workplace, they announced 8 new free AI and generative AI courses open to anyone aligned to in-demand jobs. So these courses, there's 80 plus free low-cost AI courses provided through AWS. I mean, this is really interesting. I think whatever your profession is, take advantage of this now. Who knows? They might charge for this in the future. So if they're just giving it away now, I think what they're looking for is people who are going to succeed and excel in these programs. And if you're getting like A pluses, or you're scoring off the charts in some of these programs, or you're creating an AI bot that they want, they're going to hire you. And guess what? Amazon pays really effing well. So if you can get in early, guess what? You become a boss, you become, a manager, you become whatever. You're going to be on the ground floor, and it's going to be beneficial for you. Let's take a look at what Elon talks about in his London speech given on November 1st, 2023 at the Bletchley Park in Bletchley, UK, AI Safety Summit. Now, keep in mind, Elon has always preached about the slowing down of AI. This was before it was really launching up. So you got to remember that even though Elon is creating this and creating his own AI, he also is preaching, kind of putting the brakes on it a little bit. But let's see what he has to say. Elon thinks that artificial intelligence could eventually put everyone out of a job. The billionaire tech leader of Tesla, SpaceX, and the CTO and executive chairman of X, which is known as Twitter, states that it will be one of the most disruptive forces in history. We will have something like this for the first time, something that's smarter than the smartest human. Well, we already know that it could beat us at chess, so we know that it can be smarter than us in certain things. It's hard to say when exactly that moment will be, but there's coming a point where no job will be needed. You can have a job if you want to, Elon says, for personal satisfaction if you like, but AI would be able to do everything anyway. I don't know if that makes people comfortable or uncomfortable, Elon says, but if you wish for a magic genie that gives you a wish, any wish you want, and there's no limit, you don't have to have those 3 wish limits nonsense, he says. It's both good and bad. One of the challenges in the future will be to find how we find meaning in life. I think that's what we've always wanted, is enough time on our hands to find the meaning of life. And I think we kind of know what the meaning of life is. It's love and passion and sharing that love with others for education, for beauty, for the arts, for sciences, and to be able to spend enough time with our families to nurture them. A lot of times men and women aren't able to nurture their family enough because they have to work until all these ungodly hours, put their kids to bed, wake them up, get them off to school so they can go back to work and do the same thing over and over again. And they have, 52 weekends a year? That's 100 days? There's just not enough time in a year to really develop your children. Plus, you need time for yourself to relax or to take care of your household on the weekends. It's not like you're getting 100 days, even with your kids. You're getting, probably half of that if you're lucky. And then how many of those years go by so fast before they're too old and they don't want anything to do with you? You didn't even get a chance to teach them anything. That's where us being put out of a job could be beneficial, at least for some folks. I think a lot of folks still need to work. I don't know about you, but I do like to work. I like to have structure in my day. I like to have accomplishments. And I think it will be a challenge for people to find those needed accomplishments and milestones to make them feel like they've finalized something, they've completed a project, and they've felt good about it. Now, can we do that? Have we done that in the past? Sure. COVID taught us that we can make our own goals even when we're not able to work. We can achieve those goals, but we don't have to be so beaten down with time and with pressure and stress that we had enough time to think about these things and work through these things, that we were able to make things happen without having to be too stressed out. Some people may say that COVID did stress them out. Some people might say it didn't. Some people said it was a nice vacation. Some people didn't like it. But it will give us the ability to choose if we want to participate in the workforce or not. Now, what happens if there are no jobs? That becomes a challenge too, right? Where does the money come from? Is the money delegated by the government? Is it delegated by Amazon, Musk, Bezos, Bill Gates? A lot of people wouldn't feel comfortable with just getting a certain amount of money. They'd want to be able to work, and maybe they would be able to still have these AI jobs and contribute. But if we take a lot of jobs away, which we already have with tech, and with Amazon taking over, I mean, think about all the retail jobs that are gone because Amazon's here. Now, if Amazon's saying, hey, guess what? Now we really don't need a lot of these other people that we thought we might need. You're out of a job too. Where do those people go? Do we all become homeless? Do we get universal basic income? Do we, do half work, half universal income? What happens there? So he's talking about kind of far off in the future. We're in this like transition period where in the next 10 years, it's going to be real weird. The next 20 years is going to be even stranger. Musk has warned on multiple occasions the threat of AI poses to humanity, and once said it could be more dangerous than nuclear weapons. 100% is more dangerous. You take away all these jobs, guess what's going to happen? What happened during COVID when you had all these protests of people wanting to go back to work? If they don't have the ability to work, you're going to have a lot of protests. They're going to have to figure out very fast how to make this transition. It's going to be a challenge for them, I think.